listen and write down any notes that you need, and then we'll discuss it after each paragraph.
What is knowledge? Knowledge is like a treasure chest filled with all the things we've learned and understand. It is the information and skills we've gathered from research, asking questions, exploring the world around us. The more we learn, the more treasures we collect in our brains. And these treasures helps us make sense of the world, solving problems and growing into capable and curious individuals.
Okay. So, what is the question that we are trying to answer?
I know this.
Yes, so let's write that as the very middle thing. Okay. Okay, let's use the main thing. Let's use green. Okay, so we're gonna write what is knowledge. So, what do you remember about what was just read? What is knowledge?
Knowledge is a treasure.
Like a treasure chest, okay? So instead of drawing something, instead of like writing it down, we're gonna draw something so that it's just more interesting, okay? So a treasure chest, we might want to draw it like treasure and star or money, right? A treasure chest, okay? And color it in a little bit. Okay, so like a treasure chest. So we're gonna write this so that it's easier to understand. That this is a treasure chest. So treasure chest of what? What else do you remember?
Learning.
Learning? What about learning?
The more we learn, the more our brain goes.
Okay, that is not in here, right? But that's something that you learn from outside. So right here. Right here. The more we learn, the more treasure we collect in our brain, right?
I learned that from my learning.
Yeah. Okay. So let's put like more we learn. Okay, so a lot of arrows into it. And we're gonna make this also. Oh, actually it should go into more we learn, right? So as we learn, we're going to draw into the treasure chest, right? Into here. Okay. And make this a really dark line. So then we're gonna write more learning equal more what?
More treasure collected.
More treasure collected. I love it. Okay, good. More learning equal more treasure collected. And then what other thing do you remember about this? Let's do this together and then you can write your notes. When you're learning, you're gonna write notes as you listen, okay? And then we're gonna do this together. So what else do you remember? More learning equal more treasure collected. How do we get the treasure?
We are very hard.
Let's look back here. How do we get the treasure? What are treasures?
Mama.
What are treasures?
There are that have gold.
Huh?
Treasure or power treasure?
No, not when we're talking about this. according to this paragraph, what is treasure?
Don't.
It's the what?
Don't. Knowledge.
Filled with all the things we've
Learn.
and
Correct.
and understand. It's the what?
Information.
And information and
So.
yeah. So knowledge, these treasure, right, are information and skills. So right here, we're gonna do the treasure is information, and it's also skills. Okay, information and skills. Understand?
Yes.
Put it down. And how do we get these information and skills?
We collect them
By we gather them from what?
from the center of the world. So
No, we use the treasures to make sense of the world. Well, how do we get those treasures? How do we get information and skills?
we don't.
Not only learning, look at this. It's the information and skills we've gathered from
Research. Asking questions and for the world.
exactly. So how many ways can we get these information that they listed?
2,
No,
3.
3 ways. So what are the 3 ways?
By learning.
No, what did it? There's many ways to learn. 3 ways that they listed are what? We just talked about it.
By learning.
No. Look at it again. What are the 3 ways that we gather information and skills?
Research, asking questions and for the world.
So, what are the 3 ways?
Research, asking and for the whole world.
Asking questions and exploring the world around us. So exploring. So asking question and exploring. So I can make these into three notes, but I'm just gonna leave it as 1. Okay, here we go. Okay, so there. Okay, so now, is there anything else you want to take note about in this paragraph?
No.
Okay, so now let's go back. Actually, what do we use these treasures to do? The last part, remember? What do we use these treasures to do?
We use it for
We use them for what?
Making sense of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Solving problems and goals.
Yeah. So how many ways can we use them that was listed?
3.
So what are the ways?
They can you make sense of the world around them.
Making sense of the world. What else? We use information and skill to also
To also
there are 3 ways that you read. You need to read and you need to remember. There's making sense of the world. What are the other 2?
exploring the world.
No, you explore the world to get information. You use the word information to make sense of the world. What else?
Solving problems.
You read it and you remember it, Trinity. What are the other 2?
Solving problems and going into capital.
Into to growing. So what are the other 2? Making sense of the world. Growing. And what else?
Getting information.
No. If you need to look it back, then ask for it.
I need to look it back. Solving problems.
Making sense of the world, growing, and
solving problems.
So now, with this mind map, you need to go through and tell me what you remember. So it was talking about what is knowledge. So explain to me what it was.
Knowledge is text. More in more correction. Reason asking questions and reporting information and showing making sense.
No, you're just reading off the thing. You have to say it in complete sentences. Knowledge is like
a treasure chest.
The more you learn,
the more you learn, the more treasure and correction.
Okay. And then how do you connect information and skills?
Information and information of the world.
How is information and skill related to treasure chest?
They make the sound of the world.
No, how is information and skills related to the treasure chest? What are information and skill?
Making sound of the world, growing and solving problems.
How is that related to making sense of the world, growing and solving problems? You first have to ask yourself, how is information and skill related to the treasure chest? Information and skills are what?
Information and skill. Talk about information and skill.
What are information and skills?
They are information and skills.
How is they related to the treasure chest?
Information talk about information.
No. How are they related to treasure chest? That's what I'm asking you.
I don't know.
That means you didn't understand it. When you learn, you gain what?
Okay. More information and skills.
Exactly. So information and skills are treasures that you collect. You understand? The more you learn, the more information you gain, and the more the more skills you gain. And so, how is that related to research, asking questions, and exploring? How is information
I
and
think I want now.
you read it, so all you need to do is understand it and explain it. That's your weakness, Trinity. So you need to think about it. What do you read? What do you understand? And what is the map that we wrote right here? How is research, asking questions, and exploring related to information and skill?
Well, recently we had to look it up.
Yeah, researching and looking it up.
Asking questions. Had to do that.
Asking question, we ask question. So when we research, when we ask question, and when we explore, what happens?
Limit and share of the world. Growing and solving.
Related to information and skill. When you research, when you ask question, and when you explore, how is that related to information and skills?
Well,
When you research, when you ask question, and when you explore, how is that related to information and skills?
I don't know.
When you research, how is that related to information?
I search it up.
And what do you gain?
I gain access.
Huh?
Access.
Asset?
Access.
When you research, when you ask question, you will gain information. When you research, when you ask question, and when you explore, you get information. You get skills. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And how is information and skill related to making sense of the world, growing, and solving problems?
Well, it is
How is information related to making sense of the world?
Information.
How is information related to solving problems?
While solving problem, I solve it.
But how is information related to it?
Information every day because solving problem me
What do you need to solve problems, Trinity?
I need to write it down.
Write what down?
The problem.
And what do you need to solve problems?
I need a number down.
No, that's for math problem. What about word problem? What about problem with plumbing? What about problem with electric? What about problem that is not related to math? What do you need to solve problems? Look at your chart. What do you need to solve problems?
A question.
When you ask questions, you get information. When you research, you get information. When you explore, you get information. What do you do with the information?
I put in the tester
Put it where?
and the tester test
In the treasure chest. And what do you put it in the treasure chest for?
to cover.
Do you just want to collect treasure? So a treasure chest is kind of like a money bank. Are you going to only put money in there and you're not going to take money out?
No.
So when do you take the money out?
When we need money.
And when do we need money? When do you need... The treasure is filled with what?
Money.
No, the treasure chest is filled with what?
The tester test is filled with learning stuff.
Learning stuff. It's filled with information. It's filled with skill. So when do you use information and when do you use skills?
Well, I need to need it.
When do you need it?
When I don't know what.
When you don't know what?
When I don't know the answer.
When you don't know the answer, and so you are trying to what? When you don't know the answer, what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to figure it out.
What's another word for figuring something out? Look in your map.
I do research.
No. Research will give you information. Research will give you skills. You put information and skill into the treasure chest. When is it that you need to use the information and skill? When you need to figure something out. So when you need to what?
When I need help with something.
Look in your chart. What is it that we haven't talked about? When do you need information from your treasure chest? When do you need skills from your treasure chest? What do you use them for?
I use information and skill to make sense of the world.
Exactly. You use information and skills to make sense of the world. You use stuff in your treasure chest when you need to make sense of the world, when you need to grow, and especially when you need to solve problem. You need information to solve problem. Do you see how all of this relate together now?
Yes.
When you read, you have to understand, Trinity. You understand?
Yes.
Now say it all over again without me needing to help you. Say it in complete sentences, don't just read.
I know where your treasure chest. The treasure chest connected with information itself. The information itself will make sense of the world, growing and solving.
No, use connection words. Use connection word. For example, I told you, information and skills are what you get from researching, asking questions, and exploring. You put those information and skill in your treasure chest. Then when you need it, you use the information and skill from the treasure chest to make sense of the world, to grow, and to solve problems. The more you learn, the more treasure you collect. Say it like that. Use connection. Explain how they're related. Don't just list them off. Say it again.
I know where your treasure chest. Information or research.
Information and skill are not research.
Information and research and asking questions and avoiding.
Research, asking questions, and exploring will what?
Will give me the information.
Yes, and
I use the information in the treasure chest.
you put it into the treasure chest, and when do you use it?
I use it when I need to make sure the world going and solving problems.
Yes. What else are you gonna say?
More learning, more treasure connected.
Okay, that's enough for